Hey guys, down here in the damaged pits with Ramzi El Youssef. How are you guys feeling today? Tontons are coming off a win at the Millennium Series, but what's your team morale coming into this?
Same thing. We're going to play the same smart game, nice and slow, shoot our guns, and let them run through it, see what happens.
This is a really aggressive layout, so you're still planning on playing slow and sitting in your bunkers?
Not necessarily. When the move's there, we take it, but it's more of just using your head than, running down the field, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, we will see what happens.
All right, so we are back here and can't wait to see this game. If you've been tuning in all day, I've been very much looking forward to this matchup because the Tontons have won 2 events in Europe so far in the Millennium Series, and now and on the States, they've been proving that they can hang with the best teams in the world. They beat some good teams. They have lost some games. They're not, honestly, they are coming over here and working as hard as they've worked this season because they want to win tournaments. They were over here a week early playing against Moscow Red Legion here at CPX, getting ready for this match. I saw some of those games. They look real good and definitely putting that grind in. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about this matchup?
Well, as we know, I mean, we used to play overseas a long time ago, and we'd go over there, and it's a gimme. It's a gimme. You're going to beat them up, and they're going to, they're not very good. However, over the years, they're getting way better. Tonton Flingueurs, they're like one of the premier paintball teams from overseas in France, and I'm telling you right now, they're something to be dealt with right now because they're very aggressive, and this field is a very aggressive field, Daddy.
Yeah. And the thing about Damage is they're very chameleon-like. They can play fast if they want to, and they can play slow if they want to. And just because they have such a deep roster, man, but I just think that on this particular field layout, I think Brian Smith could have a field day over here on the Snake side of the field. And it's just like any of their sports, positional matchups. So when you get guys like Axel Godin, who had such an awesome rookie season last year for Moscow Red Legion, now coming back to the Tontons. He's French, obviously. The Tontons making their move to come play in the PSP, the best league in the world. And he wanted to make sure he represents for his country, for his boys. And now he's going to be matching up against Brian Smith and also depending on, that's the thing with, there's a lot of guys that play different spots. Maybe they might put Holiday over here on the Snake side. Now on the split screen breakout, check it out. Damage on your right and Tontons on your left. Looks like both teams able to get out through the break with 5 alive.
Yeah, look at the breakout right now, Todd.
Yeah, Keith Brown, I swear, he is so fast. Blazed out to that corner, but then got shot when he got there. And here's Brian Smith going to fill across from the tower. Timmy Probe step out and shot, and then he bammed up the center. And now the Tontons have control of the Snake side. They're going to come on into Snake 2 right away and start working down the wire. And it's going to be bad news for Damage if Chabon can come all the way down and shoot Brian Smith in the back.
Oh! And look at this, going to work. Super aggressive play right there by the Tonton Flingueurs. Going to work, 2-pack, 3-pack in the back right there, number 1, going to work.
Oh, wow.
Can I get 4?
Tontons, man. Woof. That was an amazing job right there by Franck, just stepping up over here on the Snake side of the field. And he just went to town, got himself 4 kills in that point. So the first point here is going to go to the Tontons. And it was amazing. I mean, if it wasn't for Fabrice Colombo shooting Keith Brown, Franck would have got all 5 of them. But he got himself a 4-pack. Nice job.
And and Keith Brown is a premier Snake player too. I mean, he's super fast. He's a great snapshot. I played against him, and he does not miss very much. So he's like getting him out, and also Brian Smith, Timmy Probst. I mean, those guys are all premier players on Damage.
Well, let's check out the guy who just got himself 4 kills and won this first point. And we're looking at the matchup right there over there on the Snake side of the field. It was Keith Brown trying to get out wide for Damage on the right-hand part of your screen, not able to do it. But Chambon Franck, 63rd ranked player in the world right now, real consistent for the Tontons. The thing with the Tontons is they haven't really had a deep roster. They've been running with pretty much their philosophy is the 5 best guys, that's who's going to play the majority of the points. And everyone else, you may or may not actually get to touch the field. But they did bring a little bit more depth to this particular tournament. And, well, we're going to see if they do continue to run with that starting 5 lineup or if they try to get some spins in for the guys they brought to fill those spots. Awesome job there in that first point, though. Score 1-0. We'll be right back after this.
A&S Gear rocks the largest inventory of any paintball retailer. From our massive selection of guns to our endless supply of goggles, paint, loaders, tanks, and apparel. With your choice of free shipping on orders over $100 to next day, Saturday, or international shipping options, you get the products you need sooner. Shop now at ansgear.com.
So we are back. This game brought to you by Extreme Pros in Garden Grove. So go to their website and they have free shipping for orders over $50 and a full store stock for anything you need. If you are in the Los Angeles area, you definitely want to help support Extreme Pros. So here we go, 18:42 left to play in this match. We just got it going. And now on the breakout, both these teams are in dye jerseys. The Tauntauns on the right-hand portion of your screen. You're always going to know what side the team's on by looking at that scoreboard top portion of your screen.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul Everett right now in the game. He breaks out to the Dorito side. He's got Chad Bougere gets shot behind him. Jason Edwards, Rumziel Youssef, and Rainsy Stanzak for Tampa Bay Damage. They get 2 kills early off that Dorito side as Axel walks off along with Samuelson.
And normally Axel Godin is usually a snake player. However, Fabrice Colombo is going to work over here for the Tauntaun Flingueurs.
And Rumziel Youssef in snake 1. He's got Rainey Stanzak behind him. Looking down the wire. He's got Franck again. Playing the wire mirrored up with Rainey Stanzak. Right now, Tampa Bay Damage with the body advantage. Only losing Chad. And trying to get back in this game. Even up. Tauntauns took the first point of the match.
Yeah, so right now 3 bodies alive for the Tauntauns, 4 for Tampa Bay Damage. Everett, Edwards, Stanzik, and El Youssef on the field for Damage. Franck Colombo and Loic Villot are left alive for the Tauntauns.
I love how aggressive they are, Maddie. They're like as you said, they've won titles overseas, but I mean they really brought their style of play over here right now.
Yeah, and a little bit slower, or this particular point has slowed down a little bit. But really good field position. Colombo, number 1, he's close to the 50-yard line for the Tauntauns, whereas Brian Smith kind of chilling out there. Or I'm sorry, Rumziel Youssef is kind of chilling in snake 1.
Yeah, and he's looking straight into Colombo. So neither El Youssef nor Colombo willing to commit to trying to take over that snake. They both, are pretty much mirrored up over here. Jason Edwards, so good at finding the seams in the field, is now in a straight prone crawling position, which you don't see very much, but shooting from the ground right now, trying to get a shot in on Colombo.
Yeah, I wish we could get a shot of that right there in the open on the Dorito side. You see, look at that, just completely out in the open. Just using the blind areas, but he does end up getting taken out. So Jason Edwards is going to have to take the walk, but he got the shot in though.
Yeah, they did trade out over there, but that is going to open up the snake side for El Youssef and Rainey Stanzak. Now just 1 body over here, and here comes El Youssef now able to attack the snake. Oh, but what a shot right there. El Youssef gets shot. He walks off the field, but Colombo gets one at the same time. So that is going to allow Damage to get back in this game, and tie it up at 1-1.
Yeah, and Paul Everett and Rainey Stanzik both are left alive. The kills going back and forth. So nice job by Damage to tie it up. 15:25 on the clock, and we'll be right back after this. And we are back here, 2013 PSP Chicago Open. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Todd Martinez and Chris Osoya, and we are watching the Tontons, the best team from Europe right now, and they're taking on one of the best teams in the world, Tampa Bay Damage. This is a big test right now for the Tontons. So they come in here the first game, beat Damage. Now that's a big statement to the rest of the league. Hey guys, I know you've seen us play for 2 events now and you respect us, but we're not here just to kind of hang around and be a mid or a lower level team. We want to win tournaments.
As you said, Matty, like you said, it's a statement, because most people take from overseas, they take it for granted. But coming from overseas to here, it's like, you know, you're competing with the best teams in the world, yeah, whatever. But these guys are actually making a statement right now. Tampa Bay Damage, one of the best teams in the world, and now you got Flingueurs.
And the Tontons have been around for a long time. They have seen some international competition over here in the States. They've done well, but I think that it's not much of a bold claim to say that this is the best team the Tontons have ever fielded, talent-wise, and they are really doing everything they possibly can to be one of the best teams in the world. So here we go, all tied up in one apiece. Let's see the breakout, looking at the Tontons streaking out here, and they break out wide, looks like they get four bodies alive out. They definitely lose. Looks like they lose Saban Samuelson.
Yeah, I think Daniel Holiday traded with Saban. Daniel Holiday shot him on the run, and Saban got shot in the head on the breakout, and he just kept running to a spot, so he got a major penalty, I think. Oh, no, he got a minor penalty.
Yeah, so Saban got a minor penalty.
But still, look at this on the screen right now. Getting up in the snake, going to work right here.
And this is...
That's Shaban Frank.
Yep, Colombo, one more time. Over here in the snake all the way down at the end, and he's got help behind him right now as bodies just walked off the Dorito side for both teams. But now Colombo, he's gonna attack, he's gonna get out. Oh, Brian Smith alive still.
Oh, and he takes him out, stays alive. So
here goes a major penalty right there on Tampa Bay Damage.
So Brian Smith's gonna get a major penalty. He's not sure where he got shot as he runs to the box.
And
so,
as Todd did call out, it was Colombo in the snake, came down, shot him in the pack.
We thought it looked like it might have been a good move, but obviously, you know, Smith's not too dirty of a player. He must have not known he was hit wherever he was hit.
Yeah, I don't think Smith thought that he got shot on the first one when he did the loop-de-loop back around. He was expecting Colombo to keep coming, and that's why he did the circle, looked for him, wasn't there, and then finally found Colombo standing in the Dorito. And then Colombo opened up on him. So Brian Smith checking his pack. You know, we got a replay actually right here, right now on your screen. Here comes Colombo. He gets Brian. That's where he gets Brian right there. And Brian is expecting him to keep coming. Isn't there. So Brian does the figure 8, and then he shoots Colombo. But the first ball that Colombo put on his pack did break. So the referee is calling. And that is why Brian Smith is going to get a major penalty right here.
Yeah, also interesting to note, there's still 15 seconds on that minor penalty. And they could have maybe slow played it a little bit on that walk in and let the other team have to blow the horn. But when you win the point, if you have a minor penalty, it stays on the board. But also they want to preserve as much of that 2-minute major as they possibly could. So it's kind of one of those things that could go either way on that decision at the end of that point for the Tontons.
Yeah, I mean, and good point right there altogether as a team for the Tontons. You know, they shot a lot of people on the break, and then were able to get up the snake side of the field. I mean, this is what you want to see. I mean, this is how Tontons did it the last. I mean, if you watch the webcast from the Millennium Series, you know, they shot really good lanes on the break and then just hit it hard. You know, they attacked. And, you know, that's what they're doing right now to Tampa Bay Damage. 14-13 left to go, and they have a 1-point lead over Damage.
You know, it's really a good game, though. I mean, Chad Bouchier, Brian Smith, Rainey Stanzak, Rami Al-Youssef, and Jason Edwards just all running, like, back-to-back points almost. But they're specimens of like, athleticism, as you say, Matty, for sure.
Yeah, so here we go. Both teams with 4 alive and the body in the box, but the Tontons will get their player back here in just about 5 seconds. He's going to have to pick a side and run out. And it looks like Ramzi Al-Youssef's coming off early over here on the snake side for Tampa Bay Damage. He takes the walk. There comes the body out of the box for the Tontons with a 1-point lead. And he streaks up the center, Saban Samuelson. And then he zones up on that snake side of the field. So no one really over here on the snake side of the field for Damage. Let's see if the Tontons can take advantage of that. They're not really doing anything with it, as it looks like Loic Velo gets shot out of his spot. And so still no one in the snake for the Tontons. I would have thought they would have sensed that no one was over here and tried to push aggressively forward, but...
Yeah, and Rainey Stanzak able to fill into the snake corner. And now here come the Tontons as Frank comes back in, goes straight into snake 2. He's going to go work down the wire. Rainey Stanzak now, though. Damage getting some work done over there on the Dorito side of the field right now. I'm not sure. Yep, and here comes Rainey. He's going to attack the snake.
Chad Boucher is going to town right now. Chad Boucher, 3 kills so far here. Actually, make that 4 kills for Chad Boucher on that Dorito side of the field, number 7, clocking in for Tampa Bay Damage to tie this up.
Yeah, that could have gone really bad right there for Damage, but luckily Chad Boucher and Jason Edwards on the Dorito side of the field went to work, shot out the Dorito side tower, and then the middle guy, which was Saban, and pull that game out, tying it up for Tampa Bay Damage.
Yeah, so Saban Samuelson coming over, making his first appearance in the States for the Tontons. He plays with them over in Europe. His brother Carl Samuelson's been tearing the league apart, but Saban struggling early here in their first matchup, and we're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. Tied up 2-2. Well, we are watching Tampa Bay Damage tied up here against the Taunton Flingueurs at 2 apiece. And anyone's game at this point, obviously it's tied. It's been back and forth, and just need to stay out of that box. We've definitely seen penalties play a factor so far here today. The first day of the 2013 PSP Chicago Open. And next up after this, we have Houston Heat, the 2012 World Champions, and they're going to be taking on Upton 187 crew, who got demolished by Edmonton Impact, who looks really good so far. And we've got about 15 seconds to go before the start of this next point. And Damage is going to be on the right-hand portion of your screen. The Tauntons on the left. Let's see if the Tauntons can step up here and try to take down the team that has taken second place, the San Diego Dynasty, for 2 events in a row.
And Saban is going out there wide to the Dorito side. I think he might have gone. Yep, Colombo, Godin, and Luigi over here. Rainey Stanzak, Ramziel Youssef. Oh, Chad Boucher gets shot on the break, heading up to the Dorito side. Oh, Saban getting checked right now, and he is going to get pulled, so he's walking off the field right now.
Oh, major penalty. Was that on Saban again?
Yes, it was.
So Saban really struggling here. 2 major penalties for him. But yeah. Taunton's able to keep it close, though.
Yeah, he got Axel pulled, who was not happy about that. And, they shot Chad on the break. It was actually a 5-on-3, or a 4-on-3. Saban got shot, but, now Brian Smith's going to get ready to come out of the box here. Rainey Stanzak bumping across to the snake corner. You got Colombo in the snake right now for the Tauntons. He's going to want to try and burn off some of this penalty. Brian Smith got out safely. He's in the tower on the snake side, and Jason Edwards is still alive. But Brian,
look, this has now got both way. Todd is just, yeah. So 2 major penalties on the same players. As Brian Smith comes out of the box, he gets a major. Saban Samuelson for the Taunton, same thing happens to him. Both those guys are doing more time in that box. We've seen this a lot so far today with the same guys getting major penalties or some sort of mental error penalties.
Yeah, repeat offenders.
And this is very unusual for Damage. Damage is not really, they don't usually really get a lot of penalties. Look for El Youssef to take the highway. I really think he'll think of some time to take the highway right now and try and get inside, because there's nobody stopping him right now.
Well, Smith must have gotten clipped coming out of the box, going right in, and then, played a little bit. Referee came over and found another hit on him. Hopefully it wasn't an old hit that he failed to wipe off while he was in the box, but he got Rainey Stanzak pulled. So El Youssef and Jason Edwards is over there on the Dorito side for Damage. They're looking at Vulu and Colombo over here for the Tauntons. The referee going to go in and check Edwards. He's clean.
Yeah, and this 2-on-2, sorry Todd, but this 2-on-2 is interesting because Damage has spread the field out. And they have a player on that snake side, or on the snake side and on the Dorito side, whereas both players for the Tauntons stuck on this snake side of the field. And Oh, player finally coming out of the box.
Oh, and you can't play from out of bounds, Saban. I know you haven't been here in a couple years, but you have to enter the playing field before you start to shoot your gun. El Youssef caught him coming out of the box, and Saban stayed in the blind spot. Unfortunately, he was still out of bounds, so he gets pulled. And right now, 16 seconds left on the penalty. Brian Smith, so he's going to be coming out here in a second. Maybe Colombo can do the same thing to Smith, but if not, it's going to be a 3-on-2 advantage with some good field position for damage.
Yeah, so Saban having some growing pains over here at his first appearance in the States.
Yeah, and getting shot is Colombo and the Snake, so here's going to come Brian Smith. Going to drop the hammer. And what a nice guy, Brian Smith. Shoot Bulu in the pack there.
Yeah, he could have blown his neck apart, but decided to put him on his pack instead.
Yeah.
So,
Alex Goldman, Brown short.
yeah, that was brutal.
A couple games ago.
Yeah,
Not calling any names out or anything, but you know, that was
Not calling any names out or anything.
pretty vicious
yeah.
job there.
So with 9:21 to go here, the score is going to be 3-2 in favor of Tampa Bay Damage. Obviously still very close match and still a decent amount of time left. And penalties hurting both these teams, but luckily for both of them, the other team has been getting penalties too.
Yeah, it's kind of balancing out a little bit, you know, creating low body situations incidentally. But, you know, we got a replay right here. Brian Smith coming down the field as there goes Colombo on a great shot by Edwards. You see Smith coming down from the top of your screen. And he is going to travel the length of the field almost and give a couple to Bulu in the pack there. Number 65, Brian Smith. So this game right now, 3-2 in favor of Tampa Bay Damage. They take that last point. But the good news is that everybody is out of the box, and we're going to be playing some 5-on-5 paintball now.
Finally.
Yes.
Finally. So hopefully they can stay out of the box.
Yeah.
Because that's been a huge issue. But I think, you know, again, Saban's getting his feet underneath him over here, trying to figure out, you know, hey, how are these refs working out? And, you know, it's just been tough for me. It's tough to see a guy like Saban have that happen to him because he is a really good player and has been a top-level player for a long time. So to see him come in here first game and struggle a little bit, hopefully he picks it back up. Same thing with Brian Smith. For Brian Smith, when's the last time we ever saw Brian Smith get 2 major penalties in the same game, let alone back-to-back?
Yeah, that's actually really true. I mean, and like you said, Saban, he'll get in his groove without question. He's a really good paintball player, and I play with him on Joy Division, as I said before, and he's very clutch, but so he's got to slow down a little bit because these guys are the best refs in the world right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so here we go. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and you know, help us spread the paintball gospel. You know, we're trying to get out as much information as possible to the world, and it'll help us spread the paintball love all around the globe. It looks like we have an update from the Challengers field with Lauren Kelly. Lauren, what do you got for us?
Hey guys, right now we're on timeout for Damage and Tauntauns, but the Challenger games are still going on. Thunder beat Jester 7-4, CEP beat Royalty 7-2, and Shock and Jesters are playing right now. Shock is up 3 points, 4-1. We'll keep you updated on those.
Wow, CEP over Royalty 4-2. You know, in CEP, we talked to some of those guys before the event started, and they were down bodies, but
yeah, they don't have Daniel Keene. He's not here, and they don't have Robbie Goldsmith either, and they don't think they have Mike Zupa either. So, you know, it's one of those situations where those are big players for them to step up and be able to, you know, really handle business without some core members and beat a team like Royalty that has some old Ironmen on that team. They got Shane Pastano, the best coach in the business. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, Toke Hamill, Chris Catt. You know, they got some good players out there. And, you know, I was expecting Royalty was actually one of my picks to maybe make the finals over here. So
I thought so, too.
Royalty, maybe DMG.
And DMG looked great this morning.
Yeah, I watched the Russians kind of dismantle Excessive over there. Excessive had tons of penalties against the Russians. But, you know, some good Challengers games going on over there. You know, we got a view of the field from up here as well. So, you know, we can kind of see what's going on. But, you know, it's interesting to get those scores, those updates. Thanks, Lauren, for taking care of that for us as you know, we're looking at about to see the breakout here, under 5 seconds. Daniel Holiday gonna take another trip back up to that Dorito side, see if he can get out there this time. Timmy Probst up the middle right away, and
like I
Colombo
said,
gets shot right away.
Like I said, I love seeing up the middle, Maddie. I'm telling you, it's kind of my thing personally. But this middle is like very, very unused right now, Maddie.
Well, it's some guys have been using it, some haven't, but it can definitely be utilized.
If you do it right.
Well, we've seen guys get up there and kill a bunch of dudes, and then we've seen guys get up there and get their head blown apart, and that's what just happened right now to Timmy Probst, as he got up there, didn't get anything done. Timmy Probst still yet to have a confirmed kill. Chad Boussiere, he has 4 and 4 of those, or 5 and 4 of those came in one game, or I'm sorry, 1 point. So here we go. Now Tampa Bay Damage starting to pull away here a little bit. 4-2 is the score with 8 minutes and 39 seconds remaining. So the Tauntauns are going to have to find that vibe that they had earlier on in this match, because you know, now that these teams are starting to play clean, Damage is pulling away. We'll be right back after this. So the score is 4-2, and it looks like Damage is, you know, rolling with their same guys. They're going with that same thing that's definitely paid dividends for them so far this year, especially overseas. And but that's kind of what they do. They decide, okay, we practice a lot, we grind out, and who are our 5-6 best guys, and that's who's going to see all the playing time.
Right.
Well, I mean, I would go with Chad Boussiere right now. I mean, he had a couple great games. He's the one that's been alive over there. Actually, no, he got shot on the break one game. But, I mean, he's gotten some kills. You know, he's got 5 kills so far this match. You're going to go with El Youssef. I've seen Skinny Kevin go with El Youssef a lot, you know. But,
yeah, he has.
Know, he's done well for him. He's got 6 confirmed kills already this game.
Yeah, Rumsey's stepping up for Damage right now.
Yeah, Timmy Probst just had a good game up the middle there. You know, they blew up, you know, 2-3 guys on the break pretty much that last point. So, you know, get these guys back in there, get them another spin. You know, get Daniel Holiday involved. He was obviously sick last event. Didn't really get to see him very much. But, I mean, he's one of their big-time guys. So, you know, really strong Dorito side. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Timmy Probst go right back up the middle one more time.
But if you look at the kill counts for the Tauntauns, they're not seeing a lot of production from Axel Godin or Carl Samuelson, who are, you know, statistically the best guys on the team.
Well, Axel Godin got pulled on a penalty one time. This time he gets shot on the break. Oh, and there goes Samuelson. He gets shot on the break. Carl Samuelson gets shot on the break. Colombo gets shot. Vulu, the snake side's starting to get chopped up. There goes Colombo and Vulu as Daniel Holiday just goes ripping down the Dorito side. He actually shot Carl and Axel and then made his break up to the 50 and then started peeling guys off the snake side.
Yeah, I love seeing that actually Damage. Damage has always been renowned for shooting lanes in the break. And this is one of those fields.
Absolutely.
This is one of those fields. The temperature's right, your paint's right. If you shoot good lanes, you're going to get 2 or 3 on the break.
I know it wasn't obviously great weather for the paint a couple hours ago with that thunderstorm that rolled through, but right now, definitely a very good time for paintballs right now, because weather is very conducive to having good paint. It's not humid, it's not hot. It's not either. It's also not too cold.
It's beautiful.
So this is perfect. This is perfect weather for the actual paint. So yeah, that's really going to help Damage out, because they are renowned for their off the break shooting. So we're going to be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Down here in the Damage pit again with Keith Brown this time. You guys are up 5-2. Now this is an aggressive layout. What did you practice, drills or other teams to get ready?
Coming into this, well, we noticed that the field's going to play pretty fast. Like, people are going to get shot off the break. So we're just trying to control everybody and just talk and communicate between each other.
All right, well, we've got 10 seconds here on the clock. We'll see if they keep the lead.
So a little insight from Keith Brown. Damage controlling the action here in the second half of this match. 8:14 left to go, score 5-2. And again, not any production out of Axel Godin or Carl Samuelson, as they have 1 kill apiece, combining for 2. And also, we haven't seen Saban Samuelson after he just kind of fell apart in the first half of that match.
Yeah, you know, and losing 1 body on the break as Tampa Bay Damage. Jason Edwards got shot by Axel Godin. And Tontons are able to take control of the snake. They're in snake 1 right now with Franck. But, you know, Rumsey Al-Youssef has been getting a lot of kills. He's in the snake corner. He's got Rainey Stanzak next to him. Timmy Probst is up in the middle. He's locking off the Dorito side, but, you know, not enough guns over here right now. Oh, maybe Rainey Stanzak might have got a shot in on Franck, but the referee giving him a check, and he is going to get pulled out, yes. Franck gets walking off the field, so Rainey Stanzak sneaks a shot in right there.
And now here comes Rainey charging down the snake side.
Going down the snake side.
And so Rainey.
Major penalty on.
Oh, major. So it looks like a major penalty on Rainey. Yeah, so Rainey a little disappointed right there, obviously. So he's going to run there. This gives a little breath of life to the Tontons here with 7 minutes to go. Now Rainey going to have to do 2 minutes in that box, and it looks like El-Youssef also is going to get pulled out because of that major penalty, and El-Youssef's doing most of the killing out there for Tampa Bay Damage. So they're spreading it around. Rainey's got 3, Holiday's got 4, Jason Edwards has got 4. Lots of guys contributing. It looks like another minor penalty there. Not sure what's going on. Damage falling apart in this point. Now we got ourselves a 2-point game with 6:38 to go.
And one thing I gotta say, Maddie, is that, I mean, when we played, I mean, there's no way I had like 17 abs like most of these guys these days. All these guys are really, really in shape. This is a professional sport, and they're all athletic. Their athleticism is ridiculous. El-Youssef, all those guys on Damage, a lot of players everywhere.
Yeah, El-Youssef's definitely a specimen. Edwards is a specimen. They got a lot of specimens on that team. Timmy Probst is a smaller dude, but he's definitely he's also in really good shape. But you know, these guys take it very seriously, and they want to be able to play as many points and contribute as much as possible for their squads. And the better cardio you got, the better engine you got, the longer the car can run. And you know, it's important out there because you want to be able to exert 100% effort as much as possible. And in the better shape you're in, the more you're going to be able to give every single point. So yeah, you may be tired, but you still got a lot left in that tank. So yeah, with 6:38 left on the clock, it looks like. Well, let's check out the stats here for Timmy Probst and Rumsey El-Youssef. El-Youssef definitely clocking in, 34th overall. He's having a good season so far, getting a lot of kills, great survivability for a front guy, and he's getting it done, really upping his level of play. Timmy Probst has been doing this for a long time for Tampa Bay Damage, former Team Strange, now defunct, but he's been a pro player for over 10 years now. But that's the thing with Damage. You know, Damage has a lot of depth. They have a lot of experience. They have a lot of time behind that gun in big games. They've won world titles. They've won a lot of tournaments. And frustrated at the fact that they've taken second place to Dynasty for 2 events in a row. And early on in this match, you were looking at the Tontons really kind of, they definitely weren't giving it to them, but the Tontons, the first couple points that came out, they looked really good. Now Damage finally getting that speed going and starting to focus and starting to run away with it here a little bit. They're 2 points away from winning this match, but the Tontons are also 2 points away from tying it up. So.
Well, as you said, Maddie, like Damage is probably one of the favorites out here. They're hungry. They've taken second twice, right? And they have something to prove. They have a great roster. It's a deep, great coached roster. So Damage, they're probably one of my favorites as well. But I mean, it's right now for these guys, it's a great battle either way.
Yeah, definitely. So, and also the next game coming at you. We've got 3 games left after this game concludes. We have Houston Heat coming in for their first match of the day. They're going to be taking on Upton 187 crew, who needs to have a good match because they got blown to pieces by Edmonton Impact. And you know, the point spread, if you lose, you don't want to lose by a lot of points because you need to keep that point spread as close as possible. These games, every point's important right now because you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're fighting to not get relegated down to the Challengers division. After that, we're going to have Edmonton Impact take on the Tontons and then Damage take on Heat. So, which is a replay essentially of the World Cup final from 2012. And again, if you've been watching, you've already heard this, and if you follow the sport, you definitely know this already, but it bears repeating. Jacob Edwards, who just turned 18, he has left Damage to go to Houston Heat, and so he's going to be playing against his brother for the first time in a really big competition like this.
Yeah, I mean, and then, you got the big brother, little brother battle. They're both probably going to be heading up towards that Dorito side, so, it'd be nice to see if maybe we get some head-to-head matchups with those guys. There's Jason Edwards on your screen right there.
Maybe it's tied 6-6, and it comes down to a one-on-one, Jacob Edwards versus Jason Edwards for the win.
What do you take?
I would love to see that.
In a one-on-one, I'm gonna have to
pick
take.
Jacob.
I got to pick Jason.
I got
in a one-on-one.
Jason Edwards for sure.
Yeah,
I
I
got
got Jason Edwards in that. I mean, Jason Edwards has had so many big one-on-one victories. Jacob Edwards is awesome too, but you got that. It's like that older brother strength. You know what I'm saying? It might get in his head a little bit. Maybe start, yelling across the field. It would be sweet to see.
On the breakout right now, you have right there, Tauntaun Flingueurs coming out all the way to the snake in the break. Did he make it? A major penalty. As you saw on your screen, he's like, get out. And unfortunately,
well, I think what happened was he dove in there and got shot, and I think the ref was like, yeah, you're hit. Yeah, you're hit. Hey, man, you're hit. And he still wasn't getting up. And so he's finally like, okay, yep, told you 3 times. Here's the penalty.
Yeah, and that's going to open the door for Brian Smith to get into the snake for Damage.
and Brian Smith going to blow this guy to pieces across the field right now. And there it is on the shoulder. Have a good day. That's number 82. That's Samuelson, Carl Samuelson, taking the walk.
So Brian Smith trying to finish off the last little fine details of this point here and put another one on the board, take it to 6-3. And it looks like that is what is going to happen. So still not a lot of contributions from Carl Samuelson or Axel Godin, though Axel does have 3 kills, so he was at 1. Now he's up at 3. But still, you know, we're used to Axel and Samuelson doing a lot of work for the Tauntauns, and, you know, it's been up to Franck and Colombo to pick up that slack, and it just hasn't been enough here. And let's do the replay of this penalty here.
And here he comes on the break, gonna run right past that big Dorito, and on the dive, he stops right there at the back of the snake, looks at the ref and says, am I hit? Ref says, yep. He says, am I hit? Ref says, yep. Ref says, get off the field. That's a major penalty. I told you twice. I don't need to tell you 3 times. Now get off, and you have to go to the box. And, hey, whoa, go to the box. Player, got to go to the box. Turn around, go to the box. And then he pulls out the last, the other player on the side field. So, and that was the major penalty right there. Still going to start this point serving that penalty. So 6-3 lead right now for Tampa Bay Damage. Just under a minute left to go before the start of this next point, but I mean, that hurt them real bad. I like the aggressiveness. I like the fact that the Tauntauns tried to come out, you know, recognizing that there's still a lot of time left and trying to get back out, get in position and attack the snake where they had success early. But I mean, they got picked up on the break, you know, get a major penalty. It's just going to kill your team every single time.
Yeah, it really is. So a little under, a little under 5:40 to play, 5:37 left to go, and 1 point away from taking this victory is Tampa Bay Damage. And then again, they do have one more game left against the defending champs from 2012, Houston Heat, who unfortunately for Houston Heat, who's actually going to be playing 187 crew next, Houston Heat is down 2 snake players. Well, they lost Ronnie Dizon to a torn ligament in his ankle, and then another foot injury as Chad George broke his foot last week. So that's really tough. It's going to be tough for them, because both those guys are, especially with Dizon, really stepping up this year. And he'll be back in 2 weeks, but you know, neither of those 2 guys will be playing. So who is going to play the snake for Houston Heat? We'll find out next match. It's probably, I think, going to be Konstantin Fedorov, backed up by Sam Monville. We'll see.
Yeah, as Saban gets a kill, but then he gets shot himself, bumping up. He came up that side with his brother, Carl Samuelson. He just gets shot, making a bump up the Dorito side. Axel Godin has now switched from the Dorito side to the snake side of the field, looking to allow to get Axel more involved in the game over here, because he just hasn't been able to play very much. So now Axel's sitting here in snake 2. He's going to get some help behind him. Coming out of the box right now is Rainey Stanzak as he doubles up with Timmy Probst. Timmy Probst is now going to take over the big Dorito behind Brian Smith, as Rainey Stanzak going to work the Dorito side of the field from the tall temple on the snake side. Brian Smith, he's on the attack. He is going to bunker out Axel Godin and put 3 directly in his goggles. Oof. And then trade out and allow Timmy Probst to go get that flag. And he is going to run it in with 7 seconds on that penalty still for the Tauntauns, but not going to matter because that is the 7th point right there for Tampa Bay Damage as they are going to win this first match of their Chicago Open over the Tauntauns 7-3.
Yeah, and 3 kills for Brian Smith there, that particular point. And, you know, after Brian Smith, he had struggling greatly in the beginning of this match, getting 2 major penalties, but ends up clocking in with 7 confirmed kills. The only person on Tampa Bay Damage to have more was Chad Bouchier. You also did some work for them, was Rumzi Al Youssef.
Yes, absolutely. Getting the snake too. He's so versatile, and he's so fast and crisp with his moves. I mean, like you say, crisp, like fast off the break moves. You're so quick, and
well, he's also been one of their guys that is, you know, when we watched him in MAO, you know, he was just always alive in the snake. You know, he was over there doing work for them by just, you know, being smart. And, you know, that's kind of what he did out here this game. You know, took the openings when he had it, you know, and was really just alive, got some kills, and, you know, really helped Damage push down the snake side.
So it looks like we have Lauren Kelly, 4th member of our broadcast team, down on the sidelines with Jason Edwards from Tampa Bay Damage, the victors. Let's listen in.
Hey guys, down here with Jason Edwards from Damage. You guys just beat Tauntauns 7-4. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Feeling great. You know, it's the first match for us in the tournament, and 7-4 is not what we were exactly hoping for, but I think they taught us a few things, and we're going to carry that on.
What did they teach you?
You know, they broke out a lot harder than we were expecting. They went wide every single game and was making it. We were actually catching the short guys, so in practice we were shooting more short guys than wide guys. All
right, and you're playing Heat next. Obviously, I got to ask, how do you feel about playing against your brother?
I'm stoked for it. I mean, you get to beat him up when he was little, and now he's all grown up, so hopefully I put it on him and he puts it on me.
All right, we'll see if that happens.